Hello, everybody. Cheyenne Jenvey here, the Dragonfly Discussions podcast. You might be noticing the signs behind me. Don't worry, I will explain. Um, First, I want to welcome everybody to my podcast, Dragonfly Discussions. I have written in the comment section, you are welcome to enter your name and location from where you are from. I am thrilled that you are listening, and I hope you enjoyed this session together. Please use your own safe space parameters for any triggers during the interview. You are welcome to excuse yourself or stay. So we have had an unfortunate, unexpected change of events. I'm dressed the way I'm dressed, and I have the signs posted the way they are. Normally, this isn't the normal scene, but unfortunately, due to the pressures of our political person in power, our guest has been advised not to show up for political reasons. So for her safety and for her well-being, she's not going to be here today, but she has allowed me to still answer the questions that I prepared for us to discuss and also present her bio. It is a really being silenced. It is a really sad time that people don't feel safe to come onto a simple podcast. It is a really sad time in America, and things need to change. People should not feel intimidated not to come onto a podcast. People should feel safe. People should feel loved and welcomed. And this is no representation of Dragonfly Discussions podcast. This is a great disappointment. So I'm still standing here strong with Grace and with everybody who feels. Let your voice be heard, because we have free speech in America. Our First Amendment right is still there, and there are no dictators in the United States of America. All right? So I'm not going to get on a political rampage here. This is about our beautiful author guest, Grace Cha, who has written so many beautiful books. So that's all I'm going to give to the political spectrum. So we're going to continue here, and I'm going to start, and I'm going to read Grace's biography, and then we're going to go through the questions that I had prepared for us together, and there's about 5 of them. So this is the interview with author Grace Eunsung Cha, author of A Clouded Sky. So she has 6 books and 3 children's books. So author of A Clouded Sky, The Professionals, Bleached, and numerous other short collections. Tune in to hear, what would have been a rare interview of amidst her experience with racism, sexism, and discrimination in modern day America. Grace received her master's degree in journalism from Columbia University in the city of New York's Graduate School of Journalism, and her bachelor's degree in history from the University of California, Santa Cruz. She has worked as a reporter at a daily newspaper, an online content editor, and freelance writer for various print and online publications. Congratulations, Grace. Grace is the author of, here's her 6 books, adult books, is the author of The Professionals 2014, A Clouded Sky, Stories for the Mid-Millennial 2019, Bleached in 2021, and Midnight, a collection of poems in 2021. Her most recent work includes Screwdriver, a collection of flash fiction in 2024. That's pretty cool. And Metal Cabinet, a collection of short stories also in 2024. All of her books are available for purchase on Amazon, Smashwords.com, or Barnes & Noble. Her two notable blogs are The Brain Collective. You could find it at https thebraincollective.weebly.com. You can also check when we're done here, you can go back to this podcast and it's all in the notes as well. I put it all in there for you to works. I just copied what she provided. And the new politic, which is https the-new-politic.weebly.com. And then here's her 3 children's books. She is also the author of 3 children's books: From Korea to California, Our Journey to America in 2014, The Korean Spirit in the Air, the Korean Aviation School in Willows, California, 2018, and The Kim Brothers, which this one I want to read, First Korean Millionaires in America, 2021. Her children's book, From Korea to California, Our Journey to America, was chosen as one of the best children's picture books in 2015 by the Kirkus Review. She has also contributed to 2 anthologies and Flash literary magazine. So she gave a little bios on her book, and that wasn't going to be part of our podcast in anyways, but you can definitely look at all this online. But ideally, we had planned to meet with some microphones, her be at the table and her book on the table and a few of her books on the table, and so you could see her books and the covers and hear her talk and hear her answer these questions. But unfortunately, due to the reasons I've stated, she won't be here. So I am going to still read her answers, which she gave me permission. And thank you, Grace, for still providing the answers, because we still want to hear from you. Maybe later, 4 years from now, 3.5 years from now, when we're back to normal, you can come back on the show and feel safer. God willing. So these were the podcast questions. There's about 5 of them. So I'll go through the questions first, and then I'll read her response. So I asked her, you mentioned in your bio of your struggle to stay relevant amidst your experience with racism, sexism, and discrimination in modern day America. Can you explain further? So Grace explains, when it came to my books and writing, I had difficulty being taken seriously as an intelligent, capable, articulate, English-speaking American writer, largely due to the stereotypes of Asian women. Despite these barriers, I insisted on pursuing a career as a writer. I had all kinds of manuscripts already written, and I just wanted to publish them, before I died. I love that part. Oh, I wish I could hear you say that. And she even puts, ha ha. I started out as a journalist, and I wrote a lot about diversity, ethnic communities, etc. I have always been interested in writing creatively, though, and I write mostly fiction, novels, and short stories. To elaborate further, I have experienced workplace harassment, glass ceilings, and sexual, emotional, and psychological abuse as a child. I have gone through hospitalization and years of therapy before I was really able to buckle down as a writer and achieve stability. Congratulations, Grace. May we pause, because that is an incredible amount of what you just shared there. That's a lot to overcome. So I continue to ask her question number 2. You mentioned in your bio that you had experienced as a daily newspaper reporter. Can you share some of your most memorable moments as a reporter? And then Grace shares, I wrote an article covering the Americans protesting against the detainment of refugees from Haiti that were HIV positive. The protests were about inhumane treatment and forced control. I got to meet the president of Haiti, Jean Bertrand Aristide, at a conference in Los Angeles. And forgive me if I don't say those names properly. I also wrote an article about Koreans in Japan. My interview subject was a Korean Japanese that disclosed the harsh discriminatory treatment he grew up with a Korean Japanese. It was one of the most memorable articles I have written. To name a few, number 1, having an impact writing about labor abuses in the garment industry amongst Asian immigrant women garment workers. Number 2, having written about the international sex trade in Asia. Number 3, in history, such as the change in policy regarding welfare recipients in New York City, which national policy changed called welfare to work as a student at Columbia University's journalism school. Okay, so this was my third question for her. You have written 6 adult books, which this is where I was planning on mentioning them all. So the 6 adult books are, again, The Professionals, year 2014, Park, who worked hard to achieve the status and prestige she has after surviving a tumultuous past. When she meets Tom Overton, an applicant for a position at her company, she is love-struck. There begins an elaborate scheme to bring him closer to her from Chicago to Los Angeles, where her friend offers him job at her newspaper. Hearts collide and destinies clash as Helena unravels her unresolved past and begins a new journey. Then we have A Clouded Sky, Stories for the Mid-Millennium, year 2019. A young woman is reunited with an ex-lover. Another woman edges towards disaster in the midst of opportunity. Explorations of the struggle to survive life amid addiction and crisis. Hometown blues that slowly turn into terror. A humorous discussion about experiences with ethnic identity. A whimsical jaunt into family dysfunction that ends with compassion and forgiveness. 8 stories to feed your fancy in the mid-millennium. Boy, that kind of sounds like my book in a way. Bleached, which is 2021. A story of a woman, Franny Walden, who tries desperately to come to terms with the murderer of her mother, Sonny Park, by her father. With her father in jail and her mother buried, she moves through life shaken and unsure of her future. Her life takes a deadly turn when she encounters a series of desperate situations that force her to take an action that she will regret for the rest of her life. Ooh, that sounds good too. Midnight, a collection of poems in 2021. Cha's, so this is our author, Grace Cha's first collection of poems have been published in this volume for all to enjoy. Capturing from whimsy to nostalgia to bitter reflection, Cha's poems are simply stated but emotionally charged. With a luminous intellectual intensity, Cha explores culture, love loss, painful life transitions, and everyday observations. And then there's Screwdriver, a collection of flash fiction, a collection of flash fiction written by Grace Eunsung Cha, a collection of flash fiction, 7 stories. The 5th volume by Grace Eunsung Cha is a commentary on times past. Cha opines about the sadness of times lost with unabashed guilt and shameless regret regarding a forgotten era. I'm going to take a sip of water here. And then Metal Cabinet, also a collection of short stories. The Past Unleashed, the tell-all account of a generation in decline. Metal Cabinet is a collection of stories meant to disturb, enlighten, and instruct. Cha's latest collection of stories is an excursion for the senses. Metal Cabinet is a follow-up of Screwdriver, a collection of flash fiction, a recently released collection of similar sentiment. Welcome to a hidden world exposing the unknown, the mad, the funny, the misunderstood. The adult books. I wish we could read about the children's. But that is a little synopsis about her books. So I was on question number 3 saying, sorry. Turn my phone off. You have written 6 adult books, and I mentioned all the titles, and 3 children's books. And the titles are in the front. I mentioned the children's books are From Korea to California, Our Journey to America in 2014, The Korean Spirit in the Air, The Korean Aviation School in Willows, California, 2018, and then The Kim Brothers. That one I would like to read too. First Korean Millionaires in America, 2021. So those are her children's books. Okay. So I asked her, I said, of the 6 adult books and the 3 children's books, can you tell me which was your favorite to write about? My favorite book has to be the first children's book, From Korea to California, Our Journey to America. I loved writing it. It was very emotional journey and impactful. My most well-received work was A Clouded Sky. So she picked 1 child and 1 adult. Congratulations. Very happy for you, Grace. And then I asked the 4th question, of the books you wrote, which one had the most impact on others and for yourself? She says, probably A Clouded Sky, which was an adult book. It was a commentary on the rise and fall of my generation, Gen X. Personal stories written between the years 1996 to 2019. It addresses issues of love and loss, alienation, cultural confusion, family dysfunction, and alcohol and drug addiction. My generation wasn't terribly liked because of our liberal era. We loved our president, Bill Clinton. He made sweeping changes in politics and really worked for the underdog, i.e., people of color, disabled, and people in the arts. But conservatives had other ideas. Personally, I believe that after Nixon and Watergate, the country will never be the same. In other words, the principles that America have built upon, the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, are ignored and become non-existent. My children's books also have had an impact with readers. They were about early Korean immigration to America and local history in the Central Valley of Koreans' contributions to agriculture. They worked in the early 1900s here, establishing orchards, packing houses, genetic fruit, alteration, and all while helping liberate their country from Japanese colonizers. They were a fantastic bunch. I so admire my early ancestors that settled here. And we love that your family and ancestors settled here as well. We should be grateful. We should be and giving you the red carpet than all the billionaires out there. So they got it backwards. And I thank you for your family's legacy of hard work. Hard work. Thank you. So number 5, is there anything else you would like to share with us? She basically says, if anyone is interested in contacting me, I'm at https://productions.weebly.com. And again, it's all in the bio and the reading. Once I save this, you're going to be able to go back to this recording and see all in the description of this podcast session where to go. You can contact her via the contact page on that site, so you can contact her there. Her books are available for purchase on https Grace Eunsung, which is spelled EUN Nancy SUN Nancy G Cha CHA .weebly WEEBboyly.com. And then she continues to say about herself, I also work as a visual artist. I specialize in digital art and illustration and as a multimedia producer. My first production, What Happened Here, is available for viewing and download on my YouTube channel at LCha-789A. So that's at ELLE Cha CHA -789 a. And then she says a resounding thank you to me for allowing her to be a guest on this podcast. And Grace, I have loved meeting you. It was wonderful the first time we met at UU Church, and you shared with me a little bit about you, and then we got to know each other, and I'm honored to know you as well. And I wish that we had more time together, and I wish our times and our political times weren't so like they are in America. They should not be. They should not be at all. But you are strong and you are courageous, and you have so much to say. You have so much to share, and you've done so much good work. So many good stories you have written, lives you have shared, real stories. So thank you for your passion and your bravery and your talent, and don't stop being who you are. We're not stopping. But that's pretty much it for today. It's going to be a little shorter than normal. It's about 30 minutes in, 25 minutes in or so. But stay encouraged, everybody. Keep writing. If you do write or journal, it's always encouraged. It helps you get through things. It helps you process things. I am a big writing person. I write all the time. I journal. I'm working on some new stuff. Starting next year, 2026, I'm going to be starting on a new book idea. So stay encouraged. Thank you, Grace Cha, for giving me this material and allowing me to do this for your audience as well, so that you can share yourself and stay encouraged, America.